What's up, guys? Welcome back to Vlogs. Today I am doing something that the common people call thrifting. Thrifting is a popular trend amongst people, I guess, of my age, where they would really look for clothes and find clothes that are old from like the 70s or 60s, the 80s. Today I'm going to go thrifting, but not for clothes. I'm going thrifting for old cameras and camera equipment to find stuff. Last time I went to thrift store, I got my VHS camera for $5 and spent $60 for a battery. Now I'm going to go see if I find any vintage cameras at the thrift store. And you guys are going to join me. So let's get right into it. I'm back. When I arrived to the thrift store, there was a ton of people there. I found all of these DVD players and this cassette player for $25. I wasn't having any luck until I went to the register and found the valuable stuff. There was an NES Classic and a ton of other tech items. I just came back from the beauty of St. Vincent de Paul, and I got two cameras. First of all, I got a trim light, Kodak trim light, Instamatic 28. I've heard of these cameras, but I don't fully know about them. Apparently, the guy said that we sold a lot of cameras because we put some out, and within like a day or so, they just got sold. So they didn't really. That's why there's not many cameras out. So I guess I'm gonna have to come in here somewhat frequently to find cameras. There's also, on this camera, there's a bunch of stickers that says pub on it. I don't think that is, I think that's meant to, you put your name here. Look at the end of that sticker. That looks kind of gross. So that's not good. Now I'm probably gonna have to clean this a little bit because it just looks kind of gross, like right up there. It's kind of gross. Let's take a look at what we got. So we have the shutter here, which I did play a little bit in the store. We also have the title here, and this looks like the viewfinder, which is weird. Okay, so that is the viewfinder. Other side here. Oh wait, this is the viewfinder. This is the viewfinder. There is a random slash in it. I don't know if you can, here, so you can see that. See that slash in there? Yeah, that's a bit odd. So I might have to crack that open and see if I can fix that. I think that's probably why it didn't sell. So that little red slash actually moves when you slide the lens cover of the camera over. It's supposed to prevent you to stop taking a photo at that moment. There's a battery check button, which obviously means there's nothing in here because this is from 1970. This is older than my camera. So, okay, so on this, there's a flap to, I'm assuming, to protect the lens. So this is the actual camera lens. So when you take a photo, it's displaced a little bit, so it always shoots this way, which is really interesting. There is no flash on this. I'm assuming this is the mount for like a hot shoe, the old hot shoe mounts, which I don't even think I can get any flashes for this thing. So, okay. And then at the bottom here, there's really nothing. There's this, which winds the film and shoots. On the back side, well, we already looked in the back side a little bit, but there is this little lip right here. Now, I did not know what that lip does until I pushed it down and pulled it out. And that is where you load the film. Look inside and open up the whole back of the camera, and there's really not much except a really old battery that I probably cannot get. Look how loose this is. Let me just show you. Super easy to get out. And that is your battery. Wow. That is an old battery that has battery acid on it. I cannot touch that. I should not touch that. Okay. But look at that battery acid. That is awful. I don't know if you can get one. This is a Duracell battery, funny enough. So that's great. And it's a mercury battery, which is, as everyone knows, mercury is not good. So yeah, I don't know if this battery is good anymore. It definitely is not. The battery is probably used for the light meter, which you can't even adjust. So, and this is probably the sensor for that light meter right there. But anyways, that is the camera. Now we go into potentially one of the biggest cameras I got today. Spent $19. So this was $8. This was my $10 item. This is a Polaroid. I have one. I have the one of the modern ones. This is the vintage one. This is probably 80s, I'm assuming. But this Polaroid, they looked at it and they saw this bit. They couldn't read it. Honestly, probably sold for $50, and I got it for $10. So this thing apparently has been sitting there for a long time. So let's give it an open. So let's go with the first bag we got. In this little thing is viewfinders. I don't know if I can show you. Viewfinders? What is this? Are these filters? There's one big one in the back here that I think you clip in. And it's by Polaroid, so let's go with the owner's manual. Let's figure out what year this is. Shows you everything that comes in the package, which is really cool. The real question is, when was this made? Next thing, this thing that's actually quite heavy. It's actually heavier than the camera. So give it open, and we got another book. Polaroid Spectra Camera Remote Control. Is this the early versions of cameras where you would take the remote control and like do long exposure or anything like that, or take a selfie of yourself? Okay, let's take a look at this device then. We have the Polaroid receiver in mint condition. This is clean, never been used. Okay, there's a little rolly wheel, which I think you screw on a hot shoe mount, which is honestly, most cameras should really have that. And there's a 0 and a 1, I guess it's in binary. And this is your receiver to, I guess, go RC car driving. Here's your 3 little prongs, which you could probably put on top of the receiver. Next one, we have this, which I think is the shutter remote, but I think it's cut, which means this is probably not usable. This one has a little bit of a marking to it, but it's not, I mean, not as clean as the other one, but, and that is it. That's all that came in that little box. Camera strap, never used. I will never use that. The Polaroid Spectra system. Wow, there's a lot to look at this thing. First of all, let's look at the very front. Here's where the film comes out. First thing you see, there's also a padding at the bottom here, but it's kind of tacky. There is a camera strap where you can actually use and take a photo of your friends. There is a lever on the side. Let's flip it. Oh, that pops open the camera like it used to. We have got our viewfinder. We have a flash here on the right. On the left, we have our viewfinder. We have our light meter and sensor, so we can double check our exposure. And then we have the view. And what looks like a speaker of some sort? I don't know how that works. So the speaker thing is actually a sonar. The sonar would use frequencies around the areas to detect how far the subject is to get in focus. This is a very early version of autofocus as we have nowadays. Anyways, back to the video. There is a hot shoe on the bottom, which I think, if we grab the receiver, which has a battery port, oh, that is actually, that you'll never see ever again. That battery is in perfect condition. It is literally clean. There is nothing with that battery. Take this, you combine it with this, twist it on, And you got yourself a receiver to do that with. This is weird. And then you can put this on a tripod or something. So, this little guy, let's rotate it and see it on the back side. So, there's not really anything on this side, and there's a little strap on this side. Back side, what do we got? We got feet and meters switch reading, which has a little thing that's supposed to be there that you can swip on and off. Feet is fine because we are in Imperial system, so we don't need to worry about that. We got a sound, apparently, which is probably that speaker up in the front. We got a timer, if you want to, which I think you just like slowly do it. So that timer is what actually controls the sonar system. You got autofocus and manual focus, which I don't know where you would focus on this thing. You got a flash, which I always never use. This is probably my zoom in and out. And this is probably the charger port, which I'm going to have to order online if I can find. So that little port there is actually for the shutter remote. How the camera actually uses battery is through the film cartridges. They have individual batteries within it that you put in. This then became an issue because they don't make those anymore. So you can't actually get this camera to work, unfortunately. And this is probably, don't know what that is. So obviously if you look in it now, you will not be able to see anything. But if we pop it open, we can see the images. This camera is a 10 to 125 millimeter, which means I could zoom very far. And that is the camera. You shoot the shutter buttons up here and the film shoots out. This will be very fun. Where do I load the film? That's the real question. Okay, so this little lever right here, flick it, and it pops that down. And this is where you put your film cartridges in, which is also incredibly clean. So, hope you guys enjoy. Please consider subscribing. You guys really liked my last video on why film is better than digital. So, I'm gonna make more content for you guys on cameras because you guys like it, I like it, so please consider subscribing and see you guys in a later video.